What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about Grolf and what I did, and I won't be talking about what I didn't do because I didn't do it. Don't know how to talk about it. What I did do, starting out, well, for the most part, I did the UI elements for this, and like obviously program their functionality, and a lot of this art I actually did. That Grolf logo, I mean, it's the text. I just put it into Canva, but like, you know, I did the design and whatever of the UI. So with that being said, let's get into it. So this is another thing that I did. And this is actually dynamic. So as you go through the levels, you will get, it's golf, so it'll be low scores, but what you can think of as high scores that will update if you beat your low score. So yeah, let's get into the game. So actually, I worked on this level, and I worked on so I did that fly through, I did that logo thing. This pause menu I did, just with Text Mesh Pro. Just with Text Mesh Pro animating things. The cursors and stuff are just like stuff that I found online. Actually, that reticle I made because I wanted our reticle to like be able to be changed like color-wise, and I couldn't find like a good white reticle on the interwebs, so I just made one. So if it looks a little goofy, that's why. But anyways, kind of little tutorial here as well. Yeah, but I set up this level using Asset Pack from the Unity Asset Store, and the ramp that I fly off of, I set up the functionality for that. Literally all it does is when the ball kind of like has a velocity starting out, and then when he hits the ramp, there's just a collider that says like velocity go forward. Unity says not to do that, but I figured it'd be okay for just like getting him going. But yeah, and because there's no cursor, you just escape is pause. I made like a little pause icon, and then I realized that we don't have a cursor. So yeah, escape is pause. Oh, also this music that you're hearing and like the little like grapple noise, my teammate Ty found all of those assets, or all of those sounds. So super cool, because this one is Dino Land. So that little like swipe. And I also set up the triggers for this. It's just rotating like new record. It's rotating like code based, which is cool because it's not animated, which I don't know why that's cool, but just fun fact. So you see you have now access to level 2. I did this with player prefs, which is a really good way to save like super simple variables without having to like mess around with like local saving and whatever, because it's just like a Unity built-in thing. It's kind of limited in the variable types that you can save, but if you can get creative with it, you can do a good bit with it. So you see low score 4. You can obviously go in and play this one again. I'll go into this level. So I set up the terrain for this level as well. This one's kind of fun because there's a lot of different heights that you can grab onto, so I think that that's fun. Oh man. Well, okay, that's good. This is the lose screen. It says the name of the level that you're on. There is a max distance for like how far you can grapple, but it's pretty far. And that was, we actually set that last minute, but it was intentional because we realized that we didn't want to like give players too much of a... I'm just not really reading. Oh, I'm not reading that correctly. We didn't want to give players like too much of leeway, because then you can just like go through the levels and do whatever you want. But what we realized is, because the springiness of the grapple mechanic um is based on how far away you are from the object that you're grappling onto, that like it might be a good thing that you can grapple onto things that are far away from you, but it might be a bad thing. So yeah, that's why the grapple distance is the way that it is. I have successfully gotten through this level. That's not good though, because you know what they say, if you as the developer can't beat your game, then players sure as heck aren't going to be able to. Sorry guys, if you play Grolf and it's really difficult. It's like really easy for the first level, for me at least. Oh man, I was so close. It's really easy for that first level. And then from there, oh my gosh, I was like, I went through it. Maybe my trigger's messed up, but I saw my trail. I in fact did not go through it. This is kind of like the interesting thing about this level and the different heights, is that you can end up in some really interesting places. I don't know what that comment was. Like, what does that mean? Anyways, low score 9, low score 4. The cool part about this is I'm going to go out of the build and then go back into it. I also use the player prefs to just consistently store your stats. So if you're like playing level 1 and you're like, okay, I got that easy, but then you can't get level 2, but you want to come back to it, you totally can. You just click keep progress. And yeah, your progress is kept. We were kind of thinking about whether or not to make that something that just auto resets, because for the point of like a school project, it's like you want to be able to like get through everything, but you don't want to just like have constantly your stats staying the same, because then I don't know. We were just going back and forth on that. So good middle ground was just like, you decide what you want to do. So yeah, this is Ty's level, so I'm not as familiar. Oh, this is something that I did as well. He included some new mechanics, so I just made this little thing here so that you could see what they do. P.S. The escape to open the pause menu does not work in any of the fly arounds, and the reason for that is the fly arounds, the timescale is set to 0, so that the ball doesn't start going down the track before you're done with the fly around. This is my favorite soundtrack, by the way. So the timescale set to 0, so I was going in to the pause menu during that time, and then I would go, I would finally get to the part where I would do the end of the fly round where I would be able to play, and the ball would be on the floor, and I was like, why is the ball on the floor? And it's because the pause menu sets it to 0 going into the pause menu, but then sets it back to full time 1.0 when you're out of the pause menu. So it was setting the time to 100% basically before you would finish the fly around. So I just made it so that you can't access the pause menu during the fly around. I'm not gonna NGL. No! This one's very difficult for me. Oh, I just got taken into a gravity well. Okay, I mean, we saw how I did with City Living, so I'm not gonna try to beat level 3, but y'all definitely should try. So yeah, that was Grolf.